My name is Nicole Katowski, and I'm 13, and I've been in foster care for a year and a half, and I've been placed with my sisters, and I've only been in one foster home. Okay. My foster parents have helped me to communicate with my mom. My greatest fears were that I didn't know what was going on and that I didn't know where I was going. The foster parents have been talking to the guardian ad litem to help us get home. I think foster parents should be more like Linda and David and be more active with the kids. Just let the kids talk to their mom and dad and let them see them and try to get to know them. At first it's scary, but I mean, if you get to know the kids and try to help them to be more unscared, then it'll be okay.
My name is Desiree Katowski. I'm 11 years old. I've been in foster care for a year and a half. I had one foster parent. My greatest fear was when I first came in foster care because I didn't know what was going to happen next. My foster parents helped me feel safe by letting me know that everything's all right. The hardest thing about being in foster care is not being with your real mom.
My name is Peggy, and I have 2 daughters that have been in foster care for a year and a half. When my girls first went into foster care, I couldn't believe it was actually happening. I was scared. I thought I would lose them forever. And it was kind of hard. It really was. It broke my heart to have somebody actually take my kids away after I raised them all their lives. I'm a single mom. My greatest fear was losing them and never ever seeing them again. Foster families' values are similar to mine, I guess, because I don't know. It's kind of hard. I mean, they were good. They're very good to my kids, which I couldn't ask for better foster parents for my kids. They've learned a lot since they've been in a foster care. They learned a lot more than I could ever possibly dreamed of. But I mean, I didn't do such a bad job raising my kids. They just put a little more value into their lives than I would have. I was more of a friend to my children than a mother, which was my biggest mistake. The partnership, they kept me in touch with the kids. I got to talk to them. I mean, a lot of foster parents don't do that. But these people were very nice and let me talk to my kids and see them and everything else. The foster parents of my kids have been safe. I mean, they're in a good home, a good neighborhood. It's not like, you know, it's just that they really love my children. And I hope they don't keep them, because I want them back. My greatest hope for my family is I have all of my children back together again and giving me a second chance to raise my kids.
My name is Lynetta Harrell, and I am the adoptive parent of Dantavius and Moses Corbett Harrell. I adopted Dan when he was 15 and Moses when he was 14. They're exactly 1 year apart. I think foster parents should, you know, listen, observe, like nonverbal things with children, you know. Like when they come to the house, they kind of look around. You gotta make them feel secure, make them feel that this is their home, this is where they're gonna be staying at, and take some time with them. Never say anything derogatory about their families, you know, or what happened. You know, give them a chance to talk about it. You know, that's what I did with my boys. Never ever said anything derogatory about their family, the mother. You know, because still, you know, even though you are the foster parent, adopted parent, these kids know eventually, the boys my age do, that they have roots where they come from, you know. And I never say anything derogatory about their mother or anything, you know, or their family members. But most of all, give them a lot of love and make them feel that they're secure. And things most likely will fall in place if you let them know that you really care. You know, I'm here to, you know, do the best I can for you, and I stand with you. But also make them respect you.
Okay, my name is Dantavius Corbett Harold. I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman at Morehouse College. I was placed in foster care when I was 5, and I stayed with my aunt until I was about 13. Okay, right now I'm attending Morehouse College, and I plan on graduating in 2005 to go to Morehouse School of Medicine, and be a psychiatrist. I really didn't like being in foster care because I didn't like being around people that I didn't know. I was more to myself, and so I was kind of in a new situation, and I didn't feel comfortable in that situation. And plus, I didn't too much care for other people telling me what to do. So I wanted to be adopted because I wanted to do something with my life. I felt as if I stayed in a shelter or if I stayed in the custody of the state until I was 18, I wouldn't accomplish much. And so being adopted kind of gave me a chance to get out and do something and have the opportunity to do something. Because, I mean, people may look and say, oh, well, he's a child of the state. You know, these are the bad children. You know, and I wanted to go, I've always wanted to go to college. And so being adopted kind of gave me that opportunity also. When I was in the custody of the state, I had to stay at a shelter. And my adopted mother, when she adopted me, she said that I don't want you all's relationship with your family to be strained. So she always take us to visit my grandmother. Well, as of, I say about 6 months, you know, my grandmother and my biological mother have been staying together. So whenever I go to see my grandmother or if I go to church, my biological mother is there. So I'm spending a lot more time with my biological mother through my adopted mother. Whereas if I would have stayed in the shelter, I probably wouldn't have had that contact. My biological parents, I mean, they're my parents, so I'm going to naturally love my parents. And for my mother, you know, she's gotten into church, and, you know, I see her doing good, and I'm real proud of her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what a mother's supposed to do. As far as my father, I don't too much see my father that much, so, I mean, I still have love for him as far as him being my father, but I don't have the contact like I have with my biological mother. I have 5 other brothers and sisters that don't live with us. I love my brothers and sisters. I go to my grandmother's house and they get on my nerves, but I wouldn't trade them for anybody else's brothers and sisters. Those are my brothers and sisters. I mean, if they ever need something, you know, all they gotta do is ask. And if I can do it, they'll have it. So, I mean, I love my little brothers and sisters because they kind of look up to me. They see, well, you're doing good, so, you know, college, you're in college, I want to go to college. You know, they want to do what I do. And I kind of try to set a good example for them so they can, you know, grow up and have everything they want to do in life.
My name is Moses Octavius Corbett, and I'm 17 years old. And I was first put into adoption when I was around 5 or 6 years old. I was adopted for the 3rd time by my foster mom in the present now. Her name is Lynetta Harold. And it's been pretty much, this has been my best adoption, so, of course, so far, because I've been here for so long now. It's gone 4 years, I believe. And part of it that is mainly because, you know, my brother is here, and we are the most, like, competitive and arguable, like, siblings, but, you know, we love each other very much, and I'm glad he's here with me because it helps me out a lot. You know, he talks to me when I need to be talked to, and he tells me, you know, things that he just, like, calms me down, and he's there to provide support for me and everything. So I love him a lot for that, and I love my mom. But it's been, I mean, you have the normal difficulties and expectations of, I guess, you know, moving from place to place. And over time, I guess it's gotten much better because I had a chance to adjust and, you know, become friendlier with everyone and get new friends, because I really didn't like the idea of being moved from place to place. So I think now I found the right place, and I'm glad I settled down, because it's hard to make new friends and meet new people and then just like leave after a while. My mom has been very instrumental in letting me visit my siblings and my biological mother. I never knew my father, but, you know, my mom is like my biological mother and my mother. I love them very much, and as well as my sisters and brothers, as we're all very close, and family is very important to me. And I'm very close to my aunt and my grandmother as well, because they raised me while I was like really, really young, and they taught me a lot of things I know now, and I just love them very much. My greatest fear while I was in foster care was not necessarily of like any kind of fear of criminals or anything like that. It was basically, like I said before, of moving around from place to place and not being able to settle down and like get to know many people and develop friendships and relationships even. But I like being here because, you know, of course, I've been here for a while now, and I've had a chance to do just that, develop friendships and relationships with people and to grow and mature because of it. And I think people would feel safer if they were in an environment for a longer period of time, because you grow accustomed to being there and you just feel it, have a sense of security. Foster parents should always, like I said, be open-minded and just be ready for any strange, you know, surprises or anything. You just have to be ready to cope with things and to try to understand the person better and give them many chances, like my mother did. She's given me many chances on like many different things, and I love her very much for that. So.
My name is Angela. I'm 19 years old. I was in foster care for 3 months. I was in the foster house with my sister. Our brother was split up from us, and I did not like that because I did not know where he was and who he was with. I didn't get no information about my brother until after we were in foster care for it was almost 2 months before we knew anything about him. After 2 months, I found out about my little brother, not by the state or anybody letting us know. I took it upon myself to call around in Leesburg to all the schools to find out what school he was enrolled in. And once I found out what school he was enrolled in, I let everybody know, and then I took it, finally, after they found out what I was doing, they let us know where he was at and what was going on with him. The only time I was scared was when the lady come to our house and took me out. When I come to Linda and David's house, I did not like it at first, but then I did. Personally, I think that any new foster parent that starts out should have to take a class by Linda and David. How to care for the kids that come in and how to comfort them and just treat them right. Most kids are very scared to come into foster care because you never know what you're coming into, who you're going to meet, and what they're going to do. I think foster parents can help parents most by keep them in and letting them know what's going on with their children and just keeping in contact and making sure that they're doing everything that they need to be doing to get their children back.
My name is Teddy. I'm 9 years old, and the first foster home that I was in was really in between good and bad, but I took it really well, and I bloodied someone's nose on the bus because they kept bothering me, and I went to another foster home.
Foster
The hardest thing about being in foster care was being apart from my mom. Foster parents should, when you go there and you first walk in their house, they should tell you that you're going to be okay in your house and things like that.
My name is Michelle. I'm 15 years old. I was in foster care for 3 months. Actually, my foster care experience, it was not really bad. I mean, Linda and David helped me out with that. It was not bad at all. Okay, my greatest fear about foster care was leaving my home, my environment, and my mother. Whenever we really needed to talk to my mother, they'd let us call her, or something like that. Foster parents should just kind of welcome them in their home, you know, show them a lot of kindness and courtesy, and just, you know, help them out.
My name is Denise. My experience with foster care is I didn't like it when they went into foster care, but whenever I met Dave and Linda, I knew that they were okay. They couldn't have got into a better foster home. My kids were in foster care for 3 months. It took me 3 months to get them back. Yes, the kids were placed in separate foster homes. My son, we didn't know where he was at for 2 months. When my kids were first placed, I felt very lost. My kids were placed on 2 different days. My son was taken one day, and the girls were taken the next. And that was very hard. The emotion I most felt was I was very angry. I didn't know where they were at, was my greatest fears. Didn't know how to get in touch with them, and nobody was telling me anything either. I knew the kids were okay. After I met Dave and Linda, I knew the kids were okay. Dave and Linda showed my kids the love and kindness that I would show them. The most difficult time in meeting the foster parents was walking away from the kids. I never, through the 3 months that my kids were taken away, I never had the same caseworker. Never the same person came out to my house. There's always someone different. They didn't know the environment that my kids lived in. My house is clean. My house has food in it. Apparently they liked coming out in my house because every time someone came out, someone new come out, and they all walked through the house, and they were all nice, but I don't think they understood the circumstances. Lonely. It's a lonely situation. It affects a lot of people's lives.